It's 2,000 hours, 8 p.m. in civilian time, and deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, 135 submariners are squeezing into a space no larger than a small conference room for one of the most unlikely entertainment experiences on Earth. The USS Missouri, a nuclear attack submarine prowling at 400 feet below the surface, is about to begin its nightly movie screening in the crew's mess, complete with freshly popped popcorn and the soft hum of life support systems providing the soundtrack. This isn't your typical movie theater. There are no plush seats, no stadium seating, no concession stands selling overpriced candy. Instead, sailors perch on benches, lean against bulkheads, and pack themselves into every available inch of floor space. The screen is a modest projector display mounted on a wall between the galley and the eating area, surrounded by pipes, valves, and the constant reminder that just inches away lies the crushing pressure of the deep ocean. The logistics alone seem impossible. Virginia-class submarines like the Missouri have fewer beds than sailors, about 94 bunks for the 135 crew members. Yet, somehow, in a vessel where every last inch is conserved and made ready for multiple uses, they've found a way to create a makeshift cinema in one of the most confined and dangerous environments known to humanity. Above their heads, enemy satellites scan the ocean surface. Around them, hostile submarines and surface ships conduct their own patrols, listening for the slightest sound that might reveal the Missouri's position. The smallest mechanical failure could mean death for everyone aboard, and a single moment of carelessness could compromise a mission months in the making. But for the next 90 minutes, none of that matters. In this underwater world, where sunlight never penetrates and privacy doesn't exist, where the difference between day and night is purely academic, and the nearest land might be thousands of miles away, these sailors have created something magical, a place where stories come alive, where imagination can flourish, and where the human spirit refuses to be crushed by steel walls and the weight of the sea. Creating a movie theater inside a nuclear submarine represents one of the most ingenious feats of space management in military history. The crew's mess, which serves as the submarine's cinema, is a masterclass in multi-purpose design that would make any urban apartment dweller weep with envy. During breakfast, this same space buzzes with the clatter of utensils and the quiet conversations of sailors grabbing quick meals between watch rotations. By lunch, it transforms into a study hall, where crew members spread technical manuals across tables, preparing for their next qualification exam. Come dinner, it's a restaurant serving surprisingly excellent cuisine, but at 2000 hours, magic happens and every last inch is conserved and made ready for multiple uses throughout the submarine. The officer's wardroom, where senior officers dine, doubles as an operating theater in medical emergencies. The torpedo room doubles as exercise room and sometimes bunk room. This philosophy of adaptive space reaches its pinnacle in the crew's mess, where folding tables disappear into wall mounts, benches slide into hidden compartments, and suddenly a dining facility transforms into entertainment central. The projection system itself is a marvel of maritime engineering. The projector, roughly the size of a briefcase, mounts securely to withstand the submarine's movements through rough seas and emergency maneuvers. The screen pulls down from the ceiling, competing for wall space with emergency instructions, watch schedules, and the omnipresent reminders of safety protocols. Sound comes through the submarine's internal communication system, carefully calibrated to provide adequate volume without interfering with sonar operations or violating noise discipline requirements. Seating arrangements follow an unspoken hierarchy that reflects both rank and submarine culture. Senior petty officers claim the few actual benches, their seniority earned through years of underwater service. Junior sailors sprawl across the deck, backs pressed against bulkheads, legs carefully positioned to avoid blocking pathways that crew members might need for emergency responses. Officers often stand in the back, ready to slip away if operational duties demand their attention. The crowd management challenges are staggering. Picture trying to fit 135 people into your living room, then imagine that half of them might need to leave instantly if the submarine's alarm sounds. Emergency egress routes remain clear at all times, marked by painted lines on the deck that even the most engrossed movie viewer knows never to obstruct. Watch rotations mean that audience members constantly filter in and out, creating a gentle ebb and flow of bodies that would disrupt any civilian theater, but has become second nature aboard submarines. This impossible theater operates under constraints that would shut down any land-based venue. No fire exits, no emergency lighting separate from the submarine systems, no way to simply walk outside if claustrophobia strikes. Yet, night after night, it transforms a weapon of war into a place of wonder. The greatest challenge facing submarine movie night isn't space or seating, it's sound itself. In a world where silence literally means survival, where the slightest acoustic signature can reveal a submarine's position to enemy forces thousands of miles away, the concept of playing movies with dialogue, music, and sound effects seems almost recklessly dangerous. Yet, submariners have mastered the delicate balance between entertainment and operational security through decades of innovation and iron discipline. Silent running is a stealth mode of operation for naval submarines where the aim is to evade discovery by passive sonar by eliminating superfluous noise. During these critical periods, non-essential systems are shut down, the crew is urged to rest and refrain from making any unnecessary sound, and speed is greatly reduced to minimize propeller noise. When a submarine enters silent running mode, movie night doesn't just pause, it vanishes entirely. The projector goes dark, conversations drop to whispers, and even footsteps must be carefully muffled. The submarine sound system represents a masterpiece of acoustic engineering designed specifically for stealth operations. Unlike civilian movie theaters that pump sound through powerful speakers to create immersive experiences, submarine audio systems prioritize containment over volume. Sound channels through the same internal communication network used for emergency announcements, but with specialized dampening technology that prevents audio from traveling through the hull into the surrounding water. Crew members have developed a long list of unwritten rules to help maintain noise discipline during movie screenings. Laughter must be controlled, no sudden outbursts that might create acoustic spikes detectable by enemy sonar. Conversations stay at whisper levels, and the rustling of popcorn bags follows a careful protocol that sounds absurd but proves essential for survival. Crews don't slam doors, knowing someone is always sleeping, but during movie night, this rule extends to every movement, every gesture, every reaction to the on-screen action. The irony runs deeper than most civilians realize. These sailors, surrounded by some of the most sophisticated acoustic detection equipment ever created, must watch movies while simultaneously monitoring their own sound signatures. Sonar operators continue their shifts during screenings, headphones pressed to their ears, listening for the acoustic signatures of distant enemies even as Tom Cruise navigates impossible missions or Harrison Ford hunts for Red October just feet away. When operational security demands take precedence, the movie stops instantly. No discussions, no complaints, no requests to finish the scene. The projector dies, conversations cease, and 135 sailors become as quiet as the depths around them. They understand that their entertainment exists only at the pleasure of their mission requirements, and that the ocean itself holds veto power over their evening plans. This delicate dance between sound and silence creates a viewing experience unlike any other cinema on Earth, where every laugh is measured, every gasp controlled, and every moment of entertainment balanced against the eternal requirement to remain invisible in the deep. The psychology of movie selection aboard a submarine reveals one of the most fascinating paradoxes in military entertainment. Sailors living inside the world's most advanced underwater vessels consistently choose to watch movies about submarines. It's a phenomenon that would seem like the last thing you'd want during months of confinement beneath the ocean's surface. Yet, submarine crews gravitate toward these films with an almost magnetic attraction. Das Boot holds the undisputed crown as the most beloved submarine movie among actual submariners. The 1981 German masterpiece, with its claustrophobic cinematography and relentless tension, resonates with crews who recognize the authentic details that Hollywood productions often miss. Submariners watch Wolfgang Petersen's masterpiece and nod knowingly at the way condensation drips from overhead pipes, how crew members instinctively duck when moving through tight spaces, and the particular way fear manifests in confined underwater spaces. They relate to the crew dynamics, the mixture of boredom and terror, and the way submarine service bonds men together through shared hardship. The Hunt for Red October runs a close second in popularity, beloved not for its technical accuracy, but for Sean Connery's commanding performance as Captain Ramius, and the film's portrayal of submarine warfare as a chess match between brilliant adversaries. Crews debate the tactical decisions, critique the sonar sequences, and argue about whether the film's famous Crazy Ivan maneuver would actually work in real combat situations. The movie becomes a teaching tool disguised as entertainment. Then there's Down Periscope, the 1996 comedy starring Kelsey Grammer that serves as the submarine service's favorite form of self-deprecating humor. While critics dismissed it as juvenile comedy, Submariners embrace it as the most psychologically accurate portrayal of submarine culture ever filmed. They recognize the quirky personalities, the unorthodox problem-solving, and the way competent crews can make even the most decrepit equipment perform miracles through ingenuity and determination. The film's message that unconventional crews often outperform by-the-book operations resonates deeply with sailors who pride themselves on creative solutions to impossible problems. The broader irony extends beyond individual film choices. Some 150 films have been made in the submarine genre between 1910 and 2010, creating an entire cinematic universe dedicated to underwater warfare. Yet most were created by people who never spent a day aboard an actual submarine. Crews watch these Hollywood interpretations with a mixture of amusement and frustration, simultaneously enjoying the entertainment value while mentally cataloging the technical errors and operational impossibilities. Crimson Tide generates the most heated debates, with veterans arguing over whether Gene Hackman's authoritarian captain or Denzel Washington's principled executive officer represents the better leadership model. The film's central conflict, should subordinates disobey orders they believe are wrong, cuts to the heart of military discipline and moral responsibility in ways that hit uncomfortably close to home for career submariners. U-571 draws universal criticism for its historical inaccuracies and American-centric rewriting of British achievements, yet crews still watch it for the underwater action sequences and the film's portrayal of damage control procedures during crisis situations. They appreciate the technical aspects while rolling their eyes at the plot liberties. Perhaps most telling is what submarine crews refuse to watch: romantic comedies, family dramas, and anything set in wide open spaces. When you're surrounded by steel walls and breathing recycled air for months at a time, the last thing you want is to be reminded of what you're missing above the surface. Instead, they choose films that validate their unique experience, that acknowledge the extraordinary nature of their service, and that remind them they're part of an elite brotherhood that few civilians can truly understand. In the timeless world of a submerged nuclear submarine where night and day are indistinguishable and existence unfolds in an endless series of 8-hour shifts, movie night becomes far more than entertainment. It transforms into a lifeline for psychological survival and crew cohesion. The importance of these gatherings extends far beyond the films themselves, creating a shared ritual that binds together men and women who must depend on each other for their very lives. The challenge of maintaining mental health during extended underwater deployments cannot be overstated. Imagine spending months in a windowless environment smaller than most office buildings, where the same 134 faces are the only human contact you'll have until the submarine surfaces. The absence of natural light disrupts circadian rhythms, creating a psychological twilight zone where time loses meaning and mental fatigue becomes as dangerous as any mechanical failure. In this environment, the simple act of gathering to watch a movie creates artificial markers of time, giving structure to days that would otherwise blur together in an endless stream of watch rotations and maintenance schedules. Movie night serves as a pressure valve for tensions that inevitably build among people living in impossibly close quarters. Submariners have developed a long list of unwritten rules to help keep the peace during long stretches underwater, and shared entertainment experiences reinforce these social bonds. They each respect the sacrifice they're all making, a special camaraderie built on shared sacrifice, and movie night becomes a celebration of that brotherhood. When the lights dim and the projector begins, rank temporarily matters less than finding a comfortable spot on the deck and sharing popcorn with the sailor next to you. The logistics of maintaining entertainment during continuous operations reveal the remarkable adaptability of submarine crews. Unlike surface vessels that can schedule downtime, submarines operate under the constant possibility of tactical situations that require immediate response. Watch rotations mean that the audience constantly changes throughout any screening, creating a fluid viewing experience where sailors slip in and out as their duties allow. Some crew members might catch only 20 minutes of a film, others might see the same movie in fragments across multiple nights, and a few fortunate souls might actually experience the rare luxury of watching an entire film uninterrupted. The psychological escape that movies provide becomes particularly crucial during the most dangerous phases of operations. When submarines operate in contested waters, conducting intelligence-gathering missions or tracking enemy vessels, the stress levels aboard can become almost unbearable. During these periods, the ability to lose oneself in a fictional story for even brief moments can mean the difference between maintaining operational effectiveness and succumbing to the psychological pressure of constant vigilance. What makes submarine movie nights truly remarkable is how they create intimacy within an environment designed to eliminate privacy. In the crew's mess, pressed shoulder to shoulder with shipmates, sharing reactions to on-screen drama, sailors experience a form of communal vulnerability rarely found in military settings. Laughter becomes shared, tension collectively felt, and emotional responses witnessed by the entire crew. This enforced intimacy, which could easily become oppressive, instead becomes therapeutic through the magic of shared storytelling. The tradition also serves practical purposes beyond morale. Movie night provides informal leadership development opportunities as junior sailors observe how senior personnel handle themselves in relaxed settings. It offers chances for cross-departmental interaction, allowing reactor operators to socialize with sonar technicians and weapons specialists to bond with navigation quartermasters. These relationships, forged in the artificial twilight of movie screenings, often prove crucial during emergency situations when seamless crew coordination can determine survival. As the credits roll on another movie night aboard the USS Missouri, and 135 submariners begin their careful migration back to watch stations, berthing areas, and duty posts, the true magnitude of what has just occurred becomes clear. In one of the most hostile environments on Earth, surrounded by crushing pressure and enemy forces, these sailors have accomplished something that seems almost impossible. They've created joy. The technical achievement alone staggers the imagination. Engineers have designed projection systems that operate flawlessly under conditions that would destroy civilian equipment. Acoustic specialists have crafted sound systems that provide entertainment while maintaining the stealth capabilities that keep everyone alive. Space planners have somehow found room for 135 people to gather in comfort within a vessel where every cubic inch serves multiple critical functions. It represents human ingenuity at its finest, the determination to maintain humanity even in the most inhuman circumstances. But the deeper achievement transcends technology. These submariners have refused to let their environment define the limits of their experience. They've created a community where isolation should reign, found laughter where fear should dominate, and built traditions that transform a weapon of war into something approaching home. Movie night aboard a nuclear submarine represents the ultimate victory of the human spirit over circumstance. Proof that no matter how dark the depths, how crushing the pressure, or how distant the surface world might be, people will find ways to connect, to escape, and to remind themselves of what makes life worth living. In the end, submarine movie nights reveal a fundamental truth about human nature. We are storytelling creatures who will create magic even in the most impossible places. When you can make Das Boot entertaining for people actually living inside a submarine, you've accomplished something that goes far beyond simple entertainment. You've created a miracle beneath the waves,